Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahawah, bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the head elders and apostles, a great millstone who want to teach well. I also want to give a shout out out there to the hopeful elect, to Yahawah, and for Yahawah who are sincere and is true, as well as believers of this word, and not just believers, but those as well. And again to you, I'd like to say shalom. Alright, this is just going to be another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawashi. And like always, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. But getting straight into it, the title of this will be Beware of the Times. Okay, considering the tariffs that's going on here in America. Alright, from the tariffs that this guy DJ Trump has put on China is taking a total hold of Slack is taking a total effect upon these Americans, man. Okay, and if not now, very, very soon. All right, so I have this article here by the CNBC.com, and we're just gonna get into it. And it says, empty shelves, trucking layoffs lead to a summer recession in Apollo's shocking trade fight timeline. It says the economic impact of the tariffs imposed by the Trump administration will soon become apparent to everyday Americans and lead to a recession this summer, according to Apollo Global Management. So let's get this word recession real quick. Let's look it up. It says a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. And I believe this is general identified. Let me see. General identified by a fall in the GDP in two successive quarters. Okay, so going back. All right, let's read that last line again. Matter of fact, I started at the top of that. It says the economic impact of the tariffs imposed by the Trump administration will soon become apparent to everyday Americans and lead to a recession this summer, according to Apollo Global Management. It says Torsten Slok, chief economist at Apollo, laid out a timeline in a presentation for clients that showed when the impact of tariffs announced by President Donald Trump could hit the U.S. economy based on the transport time required for goods from China. U.S. consumers could start to notice trade-related shortages in their local stores next month, according to the presentation. And if you haven't noticed by now, for those of you who've been watching and hearkening to the prophets, the shortage in the stores actually been going on. All right, been going on, and you have to be aware of these things too, because you know what I mean. We know how deceitful Esau is, because, hey man, it could have been all type of things going on behind the scenes, but they could just be just now bringing it forth to the light. All right, remember, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. We understand this crafty devil plan, because at the end of the day, man-made famine is going to be brought upon the land soon. All right, as the prophets continue to warn the people, these are the things that are coming. You see, which ultimately is mercy of from Yahawashi to warn you of the great terrible times that he's finna bring upon the land. Okay, and it's all just the build up to his will. Okay, which is to destroy America, Babylon the Great. All right, but it says the consequence will be empty shelves in U.S. stores in a few weeks and COVID-like shortages for consumers and for firms using Chinese products as intermediate goods, Slok wrote in a note to clients Friday. Now, if you look back on the times of the C-19, all right, the people was emptying shelves, man. It was so bad to the point where you can only grab one per item when it came to the certain foods and the tissues and all that. All right, it was even so bad to the point where you couldn't come in the store at a certain time because they had to let the elderly come in and shop first Now I don't know if that was all over the country, but I know here in around these parts they had it to where, okay, in different WalMarts or whatever store, grocery store it was, the elders will come in the morning, and then they let everybody else come in around about maybe like 10, if I'm not mistaken. But early in the morning, could nobody else come in but elderly people, okay, the senior citizens, to do their shopping. All right, but that's how bad it got, because people were basically emptying shelves, man, because they was panic buying. All right, now just wait till this hit to a major scale, then people start panic buying, man. You see, it says terror to recession timeline. April 2nd, tariffs announced countership departures from China to U.S. slowing. This is early to mid-May. Counterships to U.S. ports come to a stop. Mid to late May, trucking demand comes to a halt, leading to empty shelves and lower sales for companies. This is late May to early June. Layoffs in trucking and retail industries, which that's remember the scripture mentioned how there shall be no work in Egypt. Okay, and this is just I think a prediction of a timeline he just wrote or whatever, which we don't know exactly. We can't really put a time on exactly when everything is gonna happen, but it's we seeing these things happening, man, and it's a build up to everything. You see, because at the end of the day, the Lord is in control. All right, and then it says summer 2025 recession. Okay, but I'm gonna put the you can read more. It's a pretty decent article. I'm gonna put it in the description box below, Lord will, if I can remember the Lord put it upon the temple. All right, I put it in the description box below. But as for right now, let's get these scriptures, man. Okay, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. And we'll start at verse 22. And it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And here it is. This is the prophecy right here. This is a very, very prophetic scripture. Okay, that is playing out now. We hearing that's the talk right now. All right, empty shelves. Okay, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Okay, your stores. Your stores, all right. It says, and the full storehouse shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, the warehouses, all that. That really fall in the line up under the scripture. They're gonna be found empty. You see, and we just read the article, man. And see, when these things come into play, people are gonna be very, very chaotic. Matter of fact, psychotic, man. The love of many shall wax cold, as the scriptures speak upon. All right, and what is that? Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. Now, considering this, that trumpet, here we are, we're giving that sound. All right, but the only ones who's afraid is the elect. Those are the only ones who considering the time. But when the news finally, when the news finally give that sound, because here it is, you people are in mirth right now. All right, through all the social media or whatever, okay? But when the news give out that sound, to blow the trumpet, Esau's, Trump, remember, scripture speak about when a rich man speaketh, okay? Basically, people are all, their eyes and ears, all right? So when that news blow that trumpet, which it'll be after everything has happened, already took place, that's when the people is going to be afraid, man. That's when you niggas are going to consider, oh shit, we gotta go get it while we can, But people are hearing these things now, and eventually, again, people is gonna be panic buying, man. Okay, it says verse 24. Now this is the heavy point right here. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Okay, so here it is, the people is going to fight one against another. Okay, Men are gonna basically they're gonna fucking lose it, man. They're gonna lose it. What are we gonna do with that food? What are we gonna eat? You know, it's gonna be bad, man. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna get real bad out here, and we know you guys get tired of hearing us. You know what I mean? Hell, sometimes we get tired of telling you niggas, man. But it's onto our duty so that we may cleanse the blood from our hands to blow this trumpet and warn you. You see? But again, like I said, through the spirit of power, Yahawashi, it's gonna get bad out here, man. And niggas is gonna get psychotic. All right? Niggas gonna fucking lose it, man. And there ain't no smooth way for me to put that. It's all thus saith the Lord. All right? Now let me find this. This is Matthew 24. What is that? At verse 12. All right? And it says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, I mentioned that word, I believe it's cold. Yep. Let's listen to it.
Strong's G 5594. Psucho.
Yep. Which goes back to psycho, man. Alright? It says, let me see. Metaphorically of waning love. It says breathe, blow cool by blowing. Let me see something. Let me see something. It was something I was looking for. Okay, kind of have progressively that word wane. It says having progressively smaller part of its physical surface illuminated so that it appears to decrease in size. Just going back to love. It was something I was looking for. Let me see. Let's go back. Okay. It's all good. But, you know, the point is, man, you get it. You know, it says that because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So it goes into that word psycho, you know. People becoming psychotic. All right. People just losing it. All right. People becoming cold, man. You see? All because of what? The lack of bread, man. All right. Let me get my King James, man. You know, let me see. Let me go back. Let me get and we all know the second Ezra's people shall spoil their house for the lack of bread. You know, niggas kicking down doors for a piece of bread. Man, I'm scared. Fuck, man. Like you gonna need Yahawashi for these times we coming into, man. That's why it's good to take heed unto the warning. All right. It says, this is Ezekiel 4 and verse 16. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. All right, and you consider a staff is to keep you stable. It's actually to uphold you. All right, and one thing here in America, hey man, these niggas is prideful because they can eat every day. Hell, you can eat every second, every minute. All right, you can eat as much as you want to. As long as you got a little bread on you, you can go to the gas station, get you a snack. You know what I mean? A bag of Doritos and a Snapper or some shit. You know? Nigga, that's why these niggas is prideful, man. All right? Because everything everything is really at your fingertips. You don't have to get in a car and go to a restaurant. Hell, I can just DoorDash. You know? You see? But the Lord said he's going to get ready to break that staff, that stability that you niggas have, man. It says, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished with one another, and consume away for their iniquity. So the Lord's finna get ready to humble you because he finna have a famine brought in the land. Now, when you consider a famine doesn't mean completely gone, but it means a scarcity of something, man. All right, so the Lord is bringing a famine of food, all right, in the land. That's one of the famines that he's bringing. All right, you're going to have a famine of men, a famine of the word, all right. It's so much, it's going to be, that when you consider famine, it can really go, it's a lot of things that fall up under that banner, man. All right, it's a lot of things you're not gonna have access to, man. When the Lord bring that famine upon the land, you gotta consider these things. This is a man of war that we dealing with, man. You see, that's why we are here. The prudent, the spirit of power, Yahawashi, we have the gift of prudence. All right, we have the mindset of prudence. Therefore, we perceive the evil and what? Hide it ourselves, man. Because we want to be kept from these sad perils, man. Okay? I'm going to get one more and I'm going to get ready to close it out. Something simple, straight to the point. Like always, Lord willing is edifying. But let's get Ezekiel 7 and verse 14. It says, they have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none go to the battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. So the Lord is pissed off. He's getting ready to bring forth his wrath upon all the multitude thereof. It says, the sword is without, and the pestilence and famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. So that's it, man. Ain't no escape from Yahawashi. All right, things are about to get real. Lord will, we covered and we kept from the said perils, man. May Yahawashi keep us. Okay. And I'm going to end it off with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Till the next time, I'd like to say, Shalom.